another piece is around the when you know finally get the job offer that people are getting really excited about your work, and then negotiations. Um, I made it very clear, like I'm very interested in being in academia. I'm very interested in getting tenure. However, I need to make sure that you all know what you're getting into, right? That I do work with survivors, and that I'm so passionate about that work. And I don't believe that I want to do research on survivors. I want to do research with survivors, and I want to do research with practitioners who work with survivors, right? And so, are you aware of the length of time it's going to take to build partnerships like this? Are you aware that that some of the things that I publish are going to be both about process and outcomes? Are you aware that some of the journals that I publish in may or may not be what you're used to, right? You might not have heard about them, right? It doesn't make them any less valid or less important. But I'm going to be publishing in very diverse streams, or the things I'm going to be writing for practitioners. There might be things that I'm developing for researchers in particular. There might be things that I'm developing around community-based process and methods. And like, do you understand the scope of my work and the breadth of my work and what all the multiple areas I'm going to be contributing to? And also made it clear that I understand your tenure requirements and your tenure guidelines. And so how and in what ways are we going to come to an understanding? Because I don't want to have this conversation when I'm submitting my materials for tenure. Like, you want to have it right before you say yes to the job, right? And also in that negotiation part, I talked a lot about and really invested in making sure that we are not just kind of going into organizations and asking them to expend resources in order to partner with us, right? And community-based processes they take so much, and I say resources, of course, time, but also like resources in terms of like people resources, right? So I'm asking them to intellectually engage in processes that, yes, they know will help them, but they also have to run an organization. And so are there ways that I can negotiate on my end how to kind of alleviate some of the additional resources that being involved in a community-based research study could place on you, right? And so in my startup package, I negotiated actually financially, right? Being able to say when I'm in partnership with organizations, I at least want to give them some money to kind of offset some of the additional resources that it's going to take to be engaged with me in the ways that I would like to engage with them. So we were able to negotiate that.